Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Whatever time you happen to be viewing this video at, I welcome you. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and spending this time with me. Today's reading will be a general reading for the sign of Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node. If Taurus is in your chart or there's a specific aspect of your birth chart containing Taurus that you are curious about, this reading is for you. Since it is a general reading, please take what resonates with you, use it for your growth and use it for your journey, and leave what does not resonate with you for someone else. I'm going to read with the Rider Waite tarot deck. I'm going to clarify with the Tarot Nefertari, and then at the end, I will pull some Keepers of the Light oracle cards for general guidance and advice. So I like to do recent, past, present, future, and then clarify based on that. Let's go ahead, do a quick shuffle. I am actually a Taurus Sun, May 18th in the house. So right on the cusp of Taurus and Gemini. All right. So one thing that I can definitely say about the Taurus placements in my life that I know and who I've been having conversations with is that there has been this very active air, very active energy of change, transformation. There's been a lot of undoing of mental processes, examining, kind of taking them apart and looking at the components of why we think and behave in certain ways. And then we've been kind of using that to move forward in our journey. So let's take a look. And this reading will be, it's for whenever you see it, but I will be recording this on Thursday. My hope is to upload this on Thursday, and then you will have the energy when it's nice and fresh for you. So let's go ahead and get a couple cards. Spirit, please guide me as I go ahead and perform this active divination for the sign of Taurus. Please give me clear and concise messages that I need to help guide and fertilize the growth journey of the Taurus collective. Thank you so much. Ashe, Ayibobo, Amin. All right, let's get into it. 3 cards, please. Woo, child, that dropped out. I don't do that. I only read jumpers, and I will only be reading upright cards for general readings. So let's see. What's going on in the recent past for the Taurus collective? Thank you so much. So I will go ahead and take okay. All right. I'm going to get into it. Can I get one more card, please? Thank you. Woo-wee! All right. We are in a good place. All right. So before I clarify, and I will actually, I'll go ahead and put this to the side. So starting out, you went through a really hard time. This is the 3 of Swords. And the 3 of Swords, I know a lot of people who read tarot and who watch tarot. The 3 of Swords, many times people speak about heartbreak, people speak about mental turmoil. And while that is accurate, I would honestly like to add something. I think 3s in terms of numerology and also in terms of the tarot has to do with creation, right? And so if we're in a space where we're creating, what would the 3 of Swords, an energy of heartbreak, how does that aid us in creation that we can then use for our journey? The 3 of Swords is tricky because it's really painful, right? So you likely went through a heartbreak. Maybe you went through a tough situation with family, friends, a sense of community, loss, something that really disturbed you in your mental space that might have had something to do with another person, a third party. How does this aid you on your growth journey? Well, you can always choose to alchemize the pain and take it and turn it into something else, or you can kind of sit with it for a while and, steep in it like a tea and draw out more insights. I don't like to use the term wallow. I don't really think it's very empathetic, and I don't think it creates space for the kind of nuance that really tough emotional and mental situations call for, especially in these times. So the Three of Swords for me really has to do with not only going through a very hard time mentally, going through a heartbreak, going through anguish, going through mental and or emotional turmoil. It's also about having that turmoil, having that discomfort, having that unsavory experience serve as the building blocks for a stronger psychological and spiritual foundation down the road. So I almost see it kind of like a junior version of the tower. You know how the tower card has to do with things that were built on shaky ground coming to a close, crumbling down, so that a stronger, more sturdy abode or building can be built on a more solid and sturdy foundation. Think of the Three of Swords in a very, very similar light. So the Three of Swords, and I'm going to dive into this, I'm going to clarify, but the Three of Swords in your case, Taurus, has to do with going through a really hard time, but you clearly use that pain for your own gain, right? So I'm going to clarify. But you then now in your current position, this is your recent past, in your current position, you've gone into a space of deciding that you will be upholding the kind of energy that will serve you in the long term. You are emotionally fulfilled, but it's not that you have an external locus of control. It's not that you are looking for outside factors to give you that happiness. You have actually said on your own, hey, I'm actually in charge of my own emotional state and well-being. I went through a really hard time mentally. My mental space was flooded with a lot of pain in my recent past, and I might have been carrying that for a while. We're going to look into this. But now I am deciding that I'm just going to have a good time. I'm not waiting for anyone to come give me this emotional fulfillment. The 10 of Cups is complete emotional fulfillment. You have decided that this is something that you will take. This is something you will curate for yourself. In your future position, you have the Wheel of Fortune, which is a beautiful way to move on from what started out as a pretty harrowing and, quite frankly, troubling experience. The Wheel of Fortune is movement in your favor, fate, destiny, whatever you'd like to call it, right? Things are now moving in your favor because you've moved into an energy where you are able to harness and cultivate the positivity that you feel that you deserve, harness and cultivate a positive mental space after coming from a really tough place, after coming out of a heartbreak, after putting yourself back together. You've decided, you know what, this is my life. I will be having a good time. I will be saying no thank you to that which does not aid me in having a good time, right? While maintaining my empathy and compassion for self and others. And because of that, you are being rewarded. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and clarify a little bit. I don't want to hold up too much of your time, so I like to keep these nice, short, and sweet unless something really wild jumps out that I have no choice but to dig deeper into. If any of this is resonating with you so far, please feel free to let me know. What is it that you are building yourself back from? What is it that you have put yourself back together from? How did you affirm to yourself that you were going to be moving forward and giving yourself that mental and emotional fulfillment and clarity and happiness? What is the blueprint? There are people who are going to be watching this in the future, and maybe they would like to learn from you. And so I want to create a space where we can all learn from each other. So feel free to share how it is. Did you use affirmations? Did you, are you going on daily walks and affirming yourself, or meditating, or steeping yourself in prayer? Like how are you moving out of such a painful territory and into such a fulfilling and positive and abundant emotionally territory? How did you pull that off? Right? I would love to know. And I'm sure others would as well. All right, so let's clarify the Three of Swords. Why is this here in the past position for the sign of Taurus? Why is this here? All right. Thank you. Ooh, very, very interesting. Very interesting. Nine of Cups. So it didn't start out as a painful position. This, whatever it is that you're building yourself back from, it didn't start out unsavory. I'll just say it like that. It seems to have started out quite happily. Perhaps this was something. Okay, thank you. All right, so perhaps this was something that was sweet at first and then it turned sour. Remember the old Sour Patch Kid commercials that used to come on like 10, 15, 20 years ago? And like the Sour Patch Kid would do something egregious. Like it would cut the girl's hair off and then she'd be like, hey, like what's wrong with you? And then the Sour Patch Kid would be all nice. Maybe it was a situation like that, hot and cold. You have the Nine of Wands. So, ooh, child, you were stressed. You were stressed out, baby. You were the last one standing. All right, so let's really get into all of this. There's a lot. And I like to reorganize the cards as the energy guides me to so that I can orchestrate and tell you the story of your energy that makes the most sense and will help give you the most clarity and guidance on your situation, okay? Okay. 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 I see what happened. All right, let's talk about it. Okay, so you were originally in a position where you were doing really well. You had your money going for you. This is the Queen of Pentacles. You were taking care of your finances. You were taking care of your material possessions. Things in the material world were looking really good for you. Things in terms of your emotional well-being were looking really, really good for you. You were in a really good place financially, and you were in a really good place emotionally when you were introduced to the energy. Oh my God. If you feel comfortable sharing, like I said, what it is that you did to put yourself back together after such an ordeal, please let me know, baby, because I commend you. You are a warrior. Okay, so you were in a really good place financially. You had your stuff, you had your money, you had your good job, your business was flourishing, you were in a good place, your inheritance was popping, whatever it is that you had going on in your material world, in terms of your material possessions. You had just completed an upgrade on your home, whatever it was. You were doing well financially and you were doing well emotionally at first. Then there was a conflict, right? The Five of Wands. There was a conflict. So this conflict came in and seems to have kind of knocked you off your balance. Maybe you're not, destitute, but perhaps you are not really on your A game as far as your money is concerned. We are Taurus. I'm just going to keep it honest. We are the sign of financial material abundance, but also that as an aside, we are only the sign of abundance when we are in alignment spiritually and mentally. That is when the pentacle is able to make its way into our life. So whenever there's an emotional disturbance, Taurus is really sensitive to losing a grip on the pentacle, on the money, on the material possession, on the business, on the job, on the credential, whatever it is that brings about abundance in the material sense for you. Whenever you go through any kind of mental, emotional, psychological, spiritual turmoil, anytime there's any kind of spiritual warfare or mental warfare going on in your energy field, you are going to lose a grip on that pentacle. You're going to drop it. I hate saying it, but it is what it is. I'm speaking from experience. So you went through a really hard time. You went through a conflict. This conflict is connected to this Three of Swords. So you had an interpersonal conflict with someone. It put you in a really, really messed up spot. You ended up being the one that came out on top. You were the last one standing, right? This is a Nine of Wands. So a lot of action happening here. So you started out on your own doing really well, okay? An external party came in. There was a lot of action going on, a lot of physical action happening physically in this 3D plane, right? Not just mental or spiritual. So, which is all connected. So you go through this conflict with this person or people. You end up coming out victorious as the last one standing, and because of said conflict, and because of the turmoil that you went through with someone or with a group of people, and you perhaps losing a grip on that pentacle, And you losing a grip on your emotional security as well, because you were very secure emotionally. Perhaps you had been doing the work, you've been journaling, going to therapy, doing your affirmations, maybe you've been meditating more, praying more, whatever it is that you were doing to secure yourself. You were in a good place. Something came in and wiped that out. You were the last one standing, and then you were awakened. The Judgment card has to do with kind of waking up to a new life, a new reality, a new paradigm. You shifted. Something in you shifted, right? Something woke you up and said, all right, that's enough of this. Now, I don't really feel like I need to clarify the 10 of Cups. It's kind of clear to me that the Judgment and the 10 of Cups are related, right? You woke up to, you were arisen from your previous chapter. You closed this karmic cycle. You were the last one standing. You closed this karmic cycle. You ended it off. You said, okay, I'm going to wake up to a new life now. And that new life entails me choosing to go forward into a regulated emotional space, a calm, curated, regulated, maintained, and cared for emotional space. And this will yield me complete fulfillment, the 10 of Cups. So let's go ahead and clarify the 10 of Cups. What more do I need to know about the 10 of Cups energy in the current moment for the sign of Taurus? Thank you. Didn't I tell you? We don't need to talk too much about this. We know what this is. You got the King of Wands. King of Wands, you are responsible. You're standing on business. So you are moving. You have woken up to a new life. So let's follow the energy flow here. Went through a hard time. You were doing well at first. Something came, knocked you off your feet. You were the last one standing. You were victorious. Your inner strength had shown through. You woke up to the new chapter, the new reality. You said, I'm going to close this chapter. You woke up from the old life. You left all of this behind. Okay? Then you decided with action. Wands have to do with action, what we do in the physical 3D space that we occupy. Yeah? So you decided, I'm going to put my actions and my thoughts together, all the lessons that I've learned, everything I had just been through. I'm going to put all of this pain, I'm going to juice it. I'm going to distill it. I am going to wake up to a new life, and I'm going to put my actions in such a way where it is working for what it is that I want, which is the emotional fulfillment, which you deserve after going through all of this, right? Pairing with that is also the King of Swords. So not only are you standing on business in the physical plane in terms of your actions, not only are you're studying, you're pulling the extra shifts, you're reading more, you're meditating more, you're eating better, whatever it is that you're doing in the physical plane to align yourself with the outcome that you are looking for, you are also aligned mentally. You're dangerous. You're not to be effed with. Like, this is a serious time. Right? You are serious about this 10 of Cups, and you're serious about maintaining it. Because we all know at this point, especially if you've gone through all of this, you know that happiness, when you see people who are able to maintain a bright and positive personality and air about themselves in the midst of turmoil, you know that doesn't come to them by accident. You now know, because you've been through it, you can talk about it. You now know that you have to curate emotional fulfillment. You cannot wait for an external party to give it to you. You have to couple your thoughts and your actions together. You have to be walking in lockstep with what it is you feel you deserve. You have to bring that energy into fruition through your actions and your thoughts. And that's exactly what you are doing. I am very proud of you. Please let me know what it is that you are doing to keep yourself aligned, because staying aligned mentally, and staying aligned physically in order to bring about this emotional fulfillment, that is not an easy task. Let's go ahead and find out a bit more about this Wheel of Fortune. What is it that fate is bringing in for you? Thank you. So, the Magician. You can't make this up. So, fun fact, the Magician is my favorite card in the entire deck. In terms of like Rider-Waite style decks, which this is, just stylized in an ancient Egyptian format. So the Magician has, if you notice, let me try to like hold the card up and not do it awkwardly. If it is, I'm so sorry. I'm still playing around with camera setups. But the Magician is the only card in the entire tarot deck that has all of the suits on the card. So you see the wand, so you see the action. You see the sword, which is the mind, the mental space. You see the cup, which is your emotional space. And you see the pentacle, which is your material possessions. People often will say money, but it's not just money. It can be any asset that you have in the material plane. Okay? And so fate is putting you in a position, destiny, the universe is rewarding you with making you this magnetic, powerful being. But it's not that, again, it's not an external thing. You are co-creating this with the divine. The magician is able to bring anything they want into existence, even if it seems impossible, because they have balanced all of the suits. They balance all the aspects that make up what we are in this 3D plane, in these meat suits in this time. So you are very powerful right now. Is there anything else that I need to know at this time regarding the magician, regarding the Wheel of Fortune for the sign of Taurus? This is a beautiful reading. Like, you've come through the storm, baby. You have come through the storm. Thank you. So let's go ahead. You have the Ace of Swords. So once again, you are in a place. The Ace of Swords is a new way of thinking. You have shifted your mental paradigm. You've gone through these lessons. You've absorbed the lessons, because you do know that if you don't learn a lesson, you're going to have to keep repeating the grade. So if you don't learn the lesson, you're just going to get the same lesson, but you're going to get a new cast and new characters. So it'll be the same lesson, but it's happening with different people. It's the same lesson, but it's happening in a different job, in a different setting, in a different location. But it's the same lesson, right? So you've learned the lesson. You're not going to have to repeat the lesson. You have decided you're going to stand on business mentally and physically. You are in lockstep. You're walking in lockstep with your highest self, and you're bringing about this fulfillment emotionally that you would not have been able to cultivate when you were still in this space. It's only when you woke up and realized all that you were experiencing and learning, the conflict, the turmoil, the stress that had taken you off of your A game, because you started out really well, right? Now you're in a position where you've woken up, you've learned your lessons, you've alchemized it, you're standing on business, you're not playing around. You said, listen, I'm not playing with you. I'm going to have a good day or else. Love that for you. Now you've moved into a space. You can manifest whatever it is you want, baby. You can bring in anything you want. You put your mind to it, you can do it. How do you know that? Because you have shifted the way that you see things. You have shifted your mind frame. Okay? And that shift has to do with recognizing that which you have lost. The Five of Cups talks about loss, but this is not loss. This is not emotional loss in terms of you going through an emotional loss. I'm getting more that you have now learned, and you're able to look upon loss and gather lessons from what you have learned in the past as it pertains to your relationship with loss. You are now able to pull on those harder lessons. It's easy to pull on the lessons that you learned when you had a smile on your face, the positive lessons, right? It's easy to pull on the lessons when you need to consult with yourself mentally in order to make a decision. It's easy for you to pull upon and reminisce on the memories that were positive and happy for you that you learned a lesson from. It's not as easy to do that with the more painful lessons. Maybe those that you don't want to look back on. Maybe those that give you unpleasant dreams, flashbacks, might even be something that you want to mentally avoid. But now you are in a place where you're able to have appreciation for that which you have said goodbye to, for that which you have closed the door on, because it was painful, because it was something that put you in a really bad position mentally, emotionally. You are now able to distill the lessons that you have learned from your really tough experiences in order to not only maintain this emotional fulfillment, but also to bring about whatever it is that you are looking to manifest in your physical plane and in your spiritual plane, which I think is beautiful. Wow. All right, let's go ahead and pull a couple of guidance cards, and then I will let you go, my babies, my chickadees. Thank you so much once again for spending this time with me. I really do appreciate it. If you have anything that you'd like to share, especially regarding how you were able to stitch yourself back together emotionally, physically, mentally, in order to get to such a powerful place, I would love to learn from you. Please let me know. All right, so let's go ahead and pull you a couple of guidance cards just to send you out on your way with some clarity. right. All right, so what guidance do you have for the sign of Taurus at this time as we go ahead and close out this session? Thank you. All right, so I'm going to read these. We have, in no particular order, we have Lady Portia, Divine Order. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. You see? Joan of Arc, Voice of Truth. So Divine Order, once again, tying back into that Wheel of Fortune. Divine order, fate, destiny, whatever you like to call it, the inner workings of the universe, Akashic records, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same thing. Do what you feel is right. Stay in tune with your intuition. That is how you're going to be able to manifest that which you are looking to bring into this plane. Joan of Arc, Voice of Truth. Stand strong. Focus on your purpose. Release the fear of persecution and speak your truth. So stand firm in your power, and you will be able to have what you desire. Can I get one more card, please? One more card, please. Ooh, thank you. I got two. I got a bonus. So, Master Jesus, forgiveness. You are on the path of light, love, and forgiveness. Father, healing is possible at this time. So, forgiveness is not something that is for other people. Forgiveness is for you. When you're ready to forgive, you can maintain the lesson like we talked about here. You maintain the lesson from the pain, but you're not carrying the pain anymore. You have forgiven, right? And lastly, Mother Mary, love and peace. Let go of the need to be right. Choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. Which, past, present, and future energy all flows into and past and with each other. It's all concurrent in the grand scheme of things. And so maintaining this fulfillment and being able to build on that to bring forth even more positive and more abundant fruits of your labor for yourself, that requires you to trust in the order of the divine, trust in what the universe, trust in what God has in store for you. Speak your truth. Fear no persecution. Everyone here is not perfect, just like you. We are all mortals in this flesh suit trying to figure out life together. There's no one that is above you. Nobody is more than you. Speak your truth. Forgiveness and love and peace are intertwined and are very important. And so just remember that love and forgiveness is a way. Don't rush yourself. If you're not ready to forgive, that is okay. Sit with it. Interrogate it. Ask yourself what it is that you still have not addressed, what it is that is not said, that's not done, and see if you can tie up those loose ends. But I don't really need to tell you this. You've learned so much from this past experience already. You're already in this situation where you are very, very firm and grounded in what it is that you are cultivating. And it's manifesting right now as emotional fulfillment, but it will continue to manifest as even greater abundance for you in the future. And then, of course, maintaining peace and love to bring forth that healing to your own life, and that will always have ripple effects to everything that you touch. With that being said, thank you so much for sticking around for this reading. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, night. And I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.